Here is your latest African news. Kenya. Kenyans petition Prince William over land evictions. Families that were evicted from their land in Kericho by British colonialists in the early 1900s to pave way for tea plantations have petitioned the royal family for compensation and an apology. The families are part of over 500,000 indigenous members of the Kipsigi and Talai communities whose ancestral land was forcibly taken from them at the beginning of the 20th century. Many men and women were raped, arbitrarily detained, and in some cases killed whilst trying to resist the evictions. The appeal letter was delivered to the Duke of Cambridge. The letter comes amidst a wave of protest for royal tours of the Caribbean to be scrapped unless the royal family uses them to address slavery. Ethiopia. Ethiopia foils cyber attack on Nile Dam financial institutions. The Ethiopian Information Network Security Agency (INSA) on Tuesday said it had foiled cyber attack attempts targeting the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and major financial institutions. According to the Director General of the agency, Mr. Shumet Gizo, said the failed cyber attacks included attempts to impede the works of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam by targeting 37,000 interlinked computers used by financial institutions. He alleged that an organization which is sponsored by countries that envy peace and development endeavors of Ethiopia had declared cyber war against Ethiopia under the motto of Black Pyramid War. Zimbabwe. Parliament to summon Mnangagwa over rampant corruption. An independent lawmaker and the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee says President Emmerson Mnangagwa should appear before it to face questions on lack of action on corruption allegations and other issues raised by Zimbabwe's Auditor General. In an interview, Norton Member of Parliament Themba Muliswa said Mnangagwa should give details about his government's failure to rein in some state officials, including ministers linked to corruption. Muliswa is the chairperson of the African Parliamentaries Against Corruption, an anti-corruption group which wants the Zimbabwean government to be probed over unaccounted funds amounting to billions of dollars as per the AG Mildred Chiri's latest report. Brian Dube, chairperson of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, said Mnangagwa should inform Zimbabweans why he was not taking actions against alleged rampant corruption in his government. In her report, Chiri said some ministries are failing to account for millions of dollars and indications are that they are not willing to do so in the near future. Eastern and Southern Africa. Comesa warns on Indomie noodles after Egypt recall. The Comesa Competition Commission (CCC) has warned consumers against eating some chicken and vegetable-flavored instant noodles commonly referred to as Indomie that were recalled from the Egyptian market on the 3rd of May. The recalls followed tests by the Food and Safety Authority (FSA) of Egypt, which found that Indomie's chili, chicken, and vegetable flavor packets contained aflatoxins and pesticide residues in quantities that exceeded safe limits. Following the findings, some 733,340 cartons of different Indomie flavors have been withdrawn from the Egyptian market by the supplier. The FSA stated that other than those three products, Indomie noodles were found to be generally safe for human consumption. The Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa watchdog warned consumers in markets within the bloc, including East African Community countries, said for Tanzania and South Sudan to watch out for the affected product. Cameroon to chair AU's Peace and Security Council. Cameroon will this month preside over the Peace and Security Council (PSC), the standing decision-making organ of the African Union (AU) on the prevention, management, and resolution of conflicts. The PSC will have meetings within the framework of the Extraordinary Summit of the African Union on 28 May. In a statement, the PSC say the meetings would center on governance and security challenges in the continent, namely unconstitutional change of government, humanitarian crisis, and terrorism. There will be 10 meetings, with 2 of them being open sessions. Top of the list is security challenges in the Horn of Africa and the Lake Chad Basin, which covers 7 countries: Algeria, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Libya, Niger, and Nigeria. The protocol relating to the establishment of the Peace and Security Council was adopted on 9th July 2002 in Durban and came into force in December 2003. The PSC became fully operational in early 2004. South Africa. Long wait continues for apartheid reparations. people who are now elderly and suffered terrible losses at the hands of South Africa's white minority race regime are determinedly waiting to be heard. For nearly a week and in deepening cold, more than 70 activists demanding reparations for apartheid crimes have occupied the steps of the Constitutional Court in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. They claim that more than 100,000 victims of apartheid crimes are still owed reparations and say they will demand that none of them receives less than 1 million USD. The mostly elderly activists, who all suffered great personal losses at the brutal hands of white minority rule in South Africa, say the country's mechanism of redress for apartheid atrocities, particularly the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, have largely failed to secure the dignity of the victims of those crimes. The activists, who mostly come from Gauteng's East Rand, though some are from elsewhere in South Africa, are organized under the banner of the Khulumani Support Group, a non-governmental organization that campaigns for redress for the victims of apartheid crimes. The road that has led them to the Constitutional Court has been a long one, as neither local government structures nor parliament respond to their many memorandums. Now they say they will not leave the steps of South Africa's apex court, which they call the country's biggest house, the group's spokesman stated. Mali Nonuplets in perfect health on their first birthday. The world's only nonuplet, 9 babies born at the same time, are in perfect health as they celebrate their first birthday, their father has said. The twins are still in the care of the clinic in Morocco, where they were born. He said their mother Halima Cisse, 26, was also doing well. The father had just returned to Morocco for the first time in 6 months. The babies broke the Guinness World Record for the most children delivered in a single birth to survive. Ahead of the birth on 4th May 2021, Mrs. Cisse was flown to Morocco by the Malian government for special care. Multiple births are risky, and mothers with more than 4 fetuses at a time are advised to terminate in some countries where abortion is legal. There are also risks the babies could develop health problems due to their premature birth, such as sepsis and cerebral palsy. Mrs. Cisse and the children are currently living in what their father described as a medicalized flat that belongs to the owner of the Iron Borgia Clinic in Casablanca, where the babies were born. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, share and like our video. It's the best way of supporting us. And remember, Africa is watching.